All right, and welcome to the YMCA of Wichita Falls podcast number 7.
It's
special edition.
It's special edition, so it's number 7, but special edition.
Yeah.
So put that asterisk on there.
Yeah, we're going to do a little special edition one instead of every other week. So
Yeah.
I'm marketing director of the YMCA, Andrew Steinley.
Brandon Brown, president and CEO.
And we do have a very special guest with us, a basketball superstar. Graduated from Hershey High School here in Wichita Falls. We've got Marcus Foster in the studio. How's it going?
Right, good.
Good. Yeah. So we have a good time on this thing. We just kind of go at it and see what happens. And but last week we had our little podcast and we were talking about Marcus Foster and I said, you know what, we let's call him up and get him up here and interview, because one, I mentioned that we're extremely proud of you and what you've done and how you're representing Wichita Falls, and I mentioned that all you guys that have left have done, not only you great athletes, but you're great kids and great role models for our kids, and so we're excited to have you, and thanks for representing Wichita Falls in such a good way, and the Wichita Falls YMCA.
Yeah,
So
that's always a good thing. So, I mean, we can go into it. I know we've talked about interviews, but how old were you when you started here at the Y?
I started in the summer league when I was 5 in the YMCA league. Yep.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah. So
Were you dunking at 5?
I wish, but nah, no dunks.
yeah, but there was teams wanting him at 5, I guarantee you. So you know, I think you know about the capital campaign that we're doing. We're going out and building gymnasiums and things like that, because the whole idea behind it is so we can provide the resources to the staff and volunteers to be able to do their job. So I say that about volunteers because it's all about that impact that volunteer coach would have had on you at an early age. You know, I know mom and dad had a lot to do with it, but so how did the coach impact you, or being a part of the YMCA youth programs? Tell me about that.
You know, having a coach to be able to push you like that at a young age, you know, it just engages you, makes you want to be interested. That's what really where it started me at the Y, you know. Then growing up, that's when I just started having a love for going to the gym, you know, lifting weights and, you know, really putting in work. So, you know, about 4th grade, I think, I remember Ronnie Williams started this program in the summer at the East Branch Y. So it got all of us there. So we're there from probably like 8 till 3 every day in the summer. So, you know, I'm with guys like JT Barrett. So it was a funny thing. We used to do football workouts in the morning and then basketball workouts in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But, you know, but having us in the gym like that all day and, you know, just working out our games, you know, the games that we love, it really helped us. So once we got older, it was already installed in us, you know, to keep them work habits up.
Yeah.
I think part of how they got so conditioned so good is because that East Branch Y does not have the AC in the gym.
That's very true,
You
too.
guys sweat.
We sweated a lot in that gym.
Now, that's part of that capital campaign.
Yeah, well, it is. So we, a couple of years ago.
But I guarantee some of them are going to say, just turn it off.
Yeah,
we will lose
that will
weight.
happen. A couple of years ago, we were talking about when we were getting our plans together. You know, somebody had mentioned let's make sure we get an air conditioner in the East Branch. Ronnie said, nope, that's how we train. That's what gets us going.
That's how we get it. We get in there, we just get to sweat. And you need to bring like 5 shirts.
Yeah, so that's good, man. That's real neat stuff. So so JT, you mentioned him. That he's doing his thing, isn't he?
Oh,
so,
he's doing it. I love watching JT, especially because me and him growing up, we were so close, and you know, he was the football guy around here, and I was the basketball guy. So it was good to have 2 examples like that.
Even though you're at different schools, it's still Wichita Falls, and you know, you look out for one another.
He went to Ryder. You know, I'm at his game supporting him, and he's coming to my game supporting me. So
cool.
you know, something cool to have in this city.
Yeah, and I noticed on Twitter, y'all. You know, say shout out to each other on that.
Anytime I see something about JT, I always make sure I want people to know about my friend that I grew up with.
You know what is cool about them? They always say something about 940. You know, they're proud of Wichita Falls. They're proud of where they came from, and you know, sometimes you could get up and be too big for that and remind people where you're from, but not these 2 boys. I guarantee you. And when I say boy, I don't mean boy. You're a grown man now.
I'm gonna have him go dunk on you and show you he's not a boy.
You know, that's the thing. He said, "What do you want to do? You want to take him one-on-one and we can go film it? Let's do horse or something like that. let's do free shots or something. I'm not doing a one-on-one with him." So, but it's neat how y'all. So you wouldn't say that if you wasn't proud of where you're from and who you and where you come from. So that's neat, and I think everyone in Wichita Falls ought to really recognize that and see that. So that's pretty cool stuff. What else we got? What are you going to talk about? What about?
We could talk about where he's been. I mean, he went to Hershey and then graduated there, went to K-State.
Yeah, let's talk about Coach
Rocked
Hedge
it
for a
up.
second.
Coach, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, so he was your high school coach, correct? Good. So he's done a good job over at Hershey.
Yeah, I think he's the big part of why my game is where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, because he pushed me every day, no matter what. He made sure that I told him the first day that I wanted to play Division I basketball. So from day one, he made sure that I was in the gym and I was putting in work, and I wasn't worried about nothing else but playing Division I basketball. So, you know, that's why I really appreciate Coach Hedge.
Yeah.
And then the stuff he still does to this day to help the younger generation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's always good to have a good role model like Coach Hedge around.
Yeah, early on when they first moved to town, I was the child care branch director, and when they first moved to town, he brought his kids out there. So they stayed with us for 3 or 4 years out there. Such a good family. Wife is a great lady. The kiddos are special. So what's crazy is when I see them around town now or see them at events, those kids are growing up.
They're growing up. It's
I don't know
weird.
how old they are
Yeah.
now, but I knew them when they were like this,
But,
and now they're growing up. Time's flying, and so that's good. So we have these kids for just a short period of time. So that's why it's important to really do the very best job we can while we have them, because the older I get, I realize time's flying. You know, it flies by. So you have to take advantage of the kids. Well, that's good to know that we have coaches like that. So let's talk. After graduation, you went to K-State. How'd you decide between? Because at one time Creighton was in the running, wasn't it?
It
who
was
in the
definitely.
running?
It came down between Texas, Marquette, Creighton, and K-State, and
Wow.
I wasn't really feeling the relationship between Texas and Marquette, so I
Yeah.
dropped those two schools, and then just came.
Gigamags.
Then
No.
it just came down to K-State and Creighton. So at the time, Creighton was in the Missouri Valley. And, you know, I've always grown up watching Big 12 football, Big 12 basketball. So it was like a dream come true to go play in the Big 12. And then the fact that my mom and dad could go catch a couple games and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So it was just a little bit easier at the time, you know. So I definitely enjoyed that I went there, you know. It was a good experience for me.
Yeah. And I even caught a couple of games. We were able to go to one time you was playing at TCU. We went to TCU, actually sit around your mother and them, and then also went to Waco and caught you when you played
that.
Baylor. So that was cool. It's neat. And he was doing his thing. I'm telling you, he was doing his thing. And so the one I always talk about. And then if you go to the Y down here in the weight room or in the cardio room, there's a pitcher. Okay, you know the pitcher.
Yep, I know the pitcher.
And so those of you older generation, I guess, you know John Stockton. Okay, but the younger generation probably wouldn't know John Stockton, but they'd know his son maybe. What school was that?
He was at Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
So you got to see. Well, I'm sure everybody has seen this, but anyway, he gets on a fast break. He gets the ball thrown to him, and I'm telling you. And then Stockton's son, I don't know his name. He's just Stockton's son is what I'm going to say. But anyway, he got just a facial. I mean, he tried to, I guess, take the charge, and Marcus just flew over him. And I hope and I think you'll probably show this, but I think from then on they took notice of Marcus Foster, didn't they?
Yeah, I'll never forget that night. That was nice to remember.
That was. So what does something like that feel like?
We was playing in Wichita. That we weren't even playing in our home gym, so it filled up probably about 20,000. So
wow!
When I dunked, like, it was so loud, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I thought it was a foul, so me and my teammates celebrating, and then next thing you know, we hear our coach like, "Get back, get back, get back!" But yeah, that definitely changed everything for me. You know, I gained like 5,000 Twitter followers that night, 5,000 on Instagram. So, and then, you know, next thing you know, ESPN is talking about me after every game.
Man.
You know, that definitely changed a lot for me.
Yeah, that was. Was it just it happened that quick, or was it just?
Yeah,
did you know
just,
when you got the ball? Did you say I'm fixing it?
Well, I seen it at half court that I was gonna be able to get a dunk, but you know, I just went up. I didn't even see him, and then I just go to dunk, and I feel like my knee on his head. So
it was on his head. Too.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh yeah, I'm really up here. You know, then that's something I'll always remember. You know, just that environment.
Absolutely. Yeah, and just probably not so much dunking on him, but the whole thing that comes with that, just that was kind of the climax. I'm here. I did it. All that hard work in the gym, all that hard work at night when friends might be out doing something on Saturday night. I'm in there shooting.
Right.
I also heard a story. You stayed in the gym a lot, and I don't mean to go back to where we was at in high school a while ago, but you've always just stayed in the gym even when others left. You just What kind of shots do we do a day? I mean, do we do?
I remember sometimes after practice I put up from 250 threes to about 500 threes, and that was just in high school.
A day?
That after every practice, and that was just high school. And then when it got to college, it got even worse because my freshman year, I really didn't think I was gonna be able to play. So I was in the gym so much that I just got way better over the summer. So that's
so it don't just happen. It don't happen. It takes hard work.
It definitely takes work.
It takes hard work, and so for the little ones out there listening, if you want to be a Marcus Foster or a JT Barrett, it takes work. It didn't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
They're gifted, but they're not gifted to the point where they don't have to work hard,
right?
And that's good. And for those coaches out there, those of you, and when I speak about this, because you've had opportunity because of basketball, you've had opportunity to go to school and do some, and we're going to talk about them in a minute. Some other camps, and I guess LeBron James camp and stuff. So, but I want to say all that coaches, volunteer coaches, continue. There's a difference between pushing your kids and coaching at a level that's not beneficial to the kids, but there's a point where they do need discipline. They do need coaches that will push them to their certain level. Each child has a different level, but so make sure that you're getting the best out of every kiddo.
Right.
I think is what I'm trying to say. Get the best out of every kiddo. So that's cool. So you did the dunk, and then so we had a fantastic freshman year. Okay, and then so in between your freshman year and I guess your sophomore year, or did you do the same thing you've been doing before? Did you come get in the gym and do all that? Or,
I would say I was in the gym, but I wasn't in the gym that much because I did have a good freshman year, so you kind of get complacent and get happy where you're at. So I wasn't in the gym as much, but I was still there a little bit putting in work.
All right. And then so you got back, and then I guess what happened that sophomore year? I mean, to me, you still had great numbers. I mean, it wasn't Marcus Foster from his freshman year, but you're still a great player at that time.
Right. Just having that off year like that after coming off a big year, so many people expected so much more than what I gave. So, I understand that I had a higher expectation that I needed to succeed that year that I didn't get to meet. But, I still had some good numbers, had some good games, though.
Yeah, there were still some buzzer beater shots that you did. I was in Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma twice.
Yeah. That you well,
nope.
No, you're OSU.
I'm OSU.
Right. So he's glad you
can
did that.
you all day. I don't care.
He's glad you did that. But there was some players. Who was at OSU the year you was there at K-State?
Marcus Smart.
Yep.
My freshman year.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's your player we just mentioned for you. So that's good. You should feel good. So you that happened. So tell me this? What did it feel like to sit out a year? Because I know there's no telling what it felt like. You're the one that had to do it. Because why? And I guess explain why you had to sit out. You transferred.
Yeah, I ended up transferring to Creighton. So NCAA rules, you have to sit out a season. So I had to sit out the whole 2015, 2016 season. So it was definitely hard. I think the first 3 games, it was kind of easy, relaxing, because, I don't have to worry about scouting reports, watching film, or practicing, because I'm on the practice team. So, it was definitely relaxing at first. But then once my teammates started, struggling out there, it's like, okay, now I want to be out there. Because, at Creighton, we go hard in practice. That's one thing our coaches try to do. Anytime we're on the court, we're going hard. So, it's hard to go to work with your teammates, your brothers, all day at practice, and then have to sit there and watch them. So it was definitely tough, but I think it was a learning experience. I learned so much and got so much better by just sitting out. So I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah. So was you able to sit like in the bleed? I mean, did you go with the team to the games and everything?
I could only go home games, so I sat right behind the bench on home games, but I couldn't go on road games.
So you had a chance then. Sitting around, I could imagine how lonely that felt when you couldn't go out of town with them and practice. So, that says something about you could have gone left or right or up or down, and you chose to continue to go right and you continue to go up. So, it's still about making those choices, the right choices, and making positive choices because I can imagine only imagine what that could have felt like, So working, like you said, brothers, working hard in practice, and then that's what's happening. So tell me, recently you've come back, and I think we mentioned on the podcast last week that and I think it's evidence from just working hard. And you mentioned that you're in shape. I mean, you're in big time shape, ready to go. So you ready? What do we got to look forward to this year?
A lot. I think my game is very changed. My body's different. I'm way stronger than I was. So, I've been eating a lot better. So I learned that helped me a lot. I can breathe better and stuff. So that's a big thing that I changed when I first got to Creighton. But, I think, I'm extended my range. So if you watch Creighton before, you've seen Doug McDermott, how he plays. So I think I'll be able to fit in that role, just a spot-up shooter, knock down shots. But, also making plays this year for my teammates because we have so many shooters. So I think it's going to be very hard for us to be able to guard us because we have shooters everywhere on the floor. Then we have a point guard that's a potential NBA draft pick. So, and then you have me. So it's going to be a bunch of weapons that we have. So
everybody's excited, aren't they?
It's going to be a good year.
You mentioned about your shot and stuff, and I was reading. I knew you had a good shot, and I didn't realize the shots you were making when you was the 2 years you was at K-State. I mean, you set a lot of records, or I don't know if they were records, but a lot of things they were mentioned about. You were 30th, maybe 34th all-time scorer there, and you only played 2 years as a freshman sophomore. So, and it said something about how many threes did you draw? 138 threes? Is that? I mean, in a season,
I can't do that in my lifetime.
I mean, that's a lot of threes, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
And these are threes that you made. Mm-hmm. So you got the weapon of shooting threes and making 138 of them. And I don't know how many games did you sit out your sophomore year, or did you?
3. I sat out 3.
Okay, so I think 60 games and on. He had 100 and. God, I mean, and that's making them too. So he's got that, and then he's got, then we've seen what he can do on the. So you can dunk better now than you could.
Yeah, I'm jumping way higher than I did. I'm like exactly.
So there won't be a knee on the head; it'll go over.
Yeah, we're trying to go over now. We want to jump over him.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. We're excited for you, and I tell you, again, I think the neatest thing is. That you still represent Wichita Falls. I think and I've met your mother, and you can tell you get a lot from her. She's done a wonderful job raising you, and I hadn't had an opportunity to meet your dad, but I have your mother, and she's a fine lady, and I think you've done a good job. She's done a great job. So
yeah, definitely.
Real quick, tell us 5 random things about Marcus Foster that we
People don't know.
5 random things. I'm very interested in clothes.
Okay.
Scary movies are my favorite type of movies.
I like that.
I only wear a size 11.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I only wear a size 11.
I'd have thought more than that. Huh.
I got 12.
But
that's what's weighing me down.
I might can beat him in one-on-one then.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. So that's 3. What do we got? 2 more.
McDonald's chicken nuggets, that's my favorite food.
All right. All right. We're going to lay off them this year?
Yeah, we got lay off for this year.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And one last one.
My dream car is a Lamborghini. Yellow Lamborghini.
Yellow. Nice.
Something tells me he'll have one day.
Someday.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Hey, last thing. I saw a picture you were doing, and your arm was like that, and it said hungry and humble. Mm-hmm. Tell me, what does that mean to you?
It's one of my things. My mom and my assistant coach, Coach Cavett, he used to always tell me, and my mom, just always be hungry and humble. They always told me, like, we know you're gonna be good, you're gonna be on the level you want to be on, but you got to be hungry and you got to stay humble, because that's how I got to where I'm at, because I was always hungry and I wanted to be better and I wanted to play with the best of the best. So that's what got me there. So when I get to the top, I have to stay humble too and remember where I came from.
That's sweet. That's great. Did you hear that last name that he mentioned, Cavett?
Yeah.
That's brother
Coach.
Cavett, brother David Cavett, and his wife Belinda works here at the YMCA. Is our child care branch director, and she does a wonderful job. And she's great. I love their family. I love what they stand for. But when I get around Coach Cavett, Pastor Cavett, I mean he has a spirit about him.
He does.
I got my chills right now just saying his his name because he can bring the best out of you. That's for sure. So, will you do me a favor? We're gonna do. Actually, did they bring those basketballs over? We got a couple of basketballs that we had asked for you if you had signed them for us.
Yeah, no problem.
And then also, and what we're gonna do, maybe you can.
back on. We have one turned off, but we keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't bother me.
And then, so what we're gonna do is, and Andrew will explain to him a little bit.
Yeah. So, what we're gonna do is, if you like and share this video, we've got some of these. We've got those capital campaign brochures that shows exactly what we're doing with the new expansion, and he's got a big picture up in there and a little quote. He's gonna sign both of those, and we've got some basketballs he's gonna sign. So, we're gonna give those away to random people that like and share this video. Because we want this to go out there. We want people to meet and to know.
Right.
You come from Wichita Falls and you started at the YMCA. So we're going to get him to sign some of those. We're going to give some of them away.
Hey, all right. That's perfect.
That's it.
When you was 5 years old, you didn't play in a gym like that, did you?
I wish.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Double
nice.
gymnasium.
no more than
bleachers.
family wide. It's gonna. Oh well, the family wide gym will still be there, but it'll be for noon basketball. Here's the new gym that they're going to be.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be.
So
really
even you played at all these gyms,
Uh-huh.
playing basketball.
Right.
You know that the family Y, the sideline was the parents because it was so crowded. in
yeah,
there.
I
So-
remember that. I definitely do remember that.
So
Their feet was on the. Do you want him to sign the other one too in the indoor soccer where his picture is? You want to sign
Yeah,
both?
sign
okay,
whatever.
So right there where my finger is, there's
Okay.
So we'll do that, and we'll give those away to people who like and share this video. I'm going to pick random people over the next week.
yeah. That's
So,
going to be neat.
we're gonna
And
have a few of them.
I'm telling you now. Let me be the first. I may not be the first to say it.
This going to be worse than money someday?
NCAA, well, yeah, for sure. But you think you had a great freshman year. I'm telling you, you wait until this happens
Gonna
this
kill it
year.
with Creighton.
You heard it first on the pod. See, we don't have a name for our podcast, I'd say.
Yeah, I've
'cause
seen that.
We keep trying to tell people, but here's the deal: you heard it first on this podcast that he is.
You know
gonna
what?
be,
Like, share it, and leave us a comment of a name for this podcast.
Yeah, and tell us what you think about him. Marcus, being a Wichita Falls boy and coming from the YMCA and working out at the East Branch and working with the coaches at Hershey and always still representing Wichita Falls. And so you'll give him some basketballs
And
too.
then,
we'll give him-
you going to play one-on-one? You going to do some horse?
well, he's got something he's got to go do, maybe. I'll play some horse. I'll play
If
horse.
we do it, we'll include it after this.
Okay, yeah.
After the podcast.
All right.
But have you seen the end of the podcast? How we end it?
Yeah,
All right.
no.
He's just when I tell you, just say oi oi oi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
it's
it.
ziggy zaggy ziggy zaggy.
Oi oi oi.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you. he did that on purpose. He let me win. That's how much he cares about the YMCA. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Enjoy it. That's for Clay County. And all the high school coaches that wish I'd have played, that's why you wish I'd have played.